Hi, and welcome to the second session of Mindful Coping Practice. I'm Wan Wen, staff psychologist at the Student Counseling Center. After our first session focusing on recognizing our internal experiences, today we will be focusing on the insight. In other words, finding a deeper understanding of what our experiences are and what they are trying to communicate to us. I will also encourage you to use the student workbook as a tool for journaling and self-reflection over the session. And thinking about headache as an example, the first session focused on recognizing and identifying the headache. And today's session will be focusing on understanding why we might be getting the headache and what might be causing the headache. And I will begin our today's session by introducing you a mindfulness exercise. It's called Leaves on the Stream. Like other exercises in the first session, mindfulness exercise focused on noticing thoughts and sensations without judgment and with more space and flexibility. Mindfulness is important because it allows us to notice on one thing at one time in the present moment with intentionality and without letting judgments override us. I'm now going to switch to the nature image to facilitate a virtual space for our mindfulness exercise together. And I'm encouraging you to get into a comfortable position where you are sitting. Perhaps sitting upright with your feet flat on the floor, your arms and legs uncrossed, and your hands resting in your lap or on your thighs, whichever is more comfortable for you. Allowing your eyes to gently close. If you would prefer to keep your eyes open, soften your gaze and gently focus on the spot in front of you. Taking a few moments to arrive by getting in touch with the physical sensations in your body, especially the sensations of touch and pressure, where your body makes contact with where you are sitting. Being aware of your feet, your body being supported by the chair, and how your hands feel with how they are making contact with your body. Now, gathering your attention by simply focusing on your breathing. Slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. Noticing the rise and fall of your belly and chest as you breathe in, out. It's okay for your mind to wander away to thoughts, sensations, or feelings. Simply observing that your mind has wandered, observing your thoughts and feelings, acknowledging their presence, and then returning your attention back to the breath. Passively observing the flow of your thoughts, one after the another, without trying to figure out their meaning or their relationship to one another. As best as you can, bringing an attitude of gentle acceptance to all of your experiences. There is nothing to be fixed or worked on this time. Simply allowing your experiences to be your experiences, without needing it to be the other way around in this moment. You might even catch a glimpse that there is a part of you noticing what you're noticing. Now, allowing yourself to imagine a beautiful, slow-moving stream, the water flowing along. Notice how wide or narrow it is. noticing the color of the water. Imagining the day. Is it sunny or overcast? Warm or cool? What season it is? Imagining you are sitting underneath a tree on the bank of the stream. Perhaps your back is resting against the trunk, gently supported. And take a deep breath. See if you can smell the richness of the earth beneath you, or perhaps the scent of the land around you. Take a moment to look up into the trees. Notice the leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. What colors are the leaves? What shapes do they have? Noticing that once in a while, you observe a leaf dropping onto the stream and flowing away. Now gazing at the stream, noticing leaves floating by on the surface of the water. Looking at the leaves and watching them, slowly drifting along downstream. As you sit beneath the tree on the bank of this stream, becoming aware of the thoughts that are passing by in this mind. You might notice yourself planning for something later of the day, reminding yourself not to forget something, or remembering something that has already happened, or even judging or evaluating this exercise. Whatever you notice, each time you become aware of a thought, imagining yourself placing the thought on one of those leaves. If you think in words, put them on a leaf in words. If you think in images, putting them on a leaf as an image. Whenever a new thought enters into your mind, putting each one on a leaf, observing each thought as it is on a leaf, passing in front of you, and then watch it moving away from you, eventually dripping out of sight down the stream, allowing the stream to move along at its own speed. Now, when you are ready, allowing yourself to take a different perspective, allowing yourself to become the stream bed, imagining yourself as the stream bed, holding the stream and each of the leaves on the surface of the stream, and even the thoughts that each leaf carries as it flows by. As the stream bed, being aware that you are the container for the stream, the leaves, and the thoughts. Perhaps even becoming aware that you do not begin or end at the banks of the stream, that you extend beyond the banks of the stream into the earth itself. Imagining what the stream bed must see. Experiencing the stream, the leaves, and the thoughts floating along. Wondering what it is like for the stream bed when the stream is rushing by, or when it is barely trickling. Without the stream bed, there would be no stream, and no stream to carry along the leaves and thoughts. I'm wondering if the stream bed cares if it's autumn with lots of leaves on the stream, or spring with very few leaves. Now, letting go of those thoughts and images, and gradually widening your attention to take in the sounds around you in the room. The feeling of the chair beneath you, the feeling of the breath in your lungs. Taking a deeper than normal breath and slowly exhaling. Taking a moment to make the intention to bring this sense of gentle allowing and self-acceptance into the present moment. And when you are ready, slowly opening your eyes. And you might pause the video here and take a moment to reflect on this exercise we just had. If you have the student workbook with you, feel free to turn to page 7 and jot down your reactions. If not, feel free to grab a piece of paper and consider reflecting on what you have noticed about this experience, your thoughts. The next concept that I would like to share is called tug-of-war metaphor. And before we dive in this concept, I would like to put some thoughts for us to reflect. So what happens if we try to control, cope, avoid, or change our internal experiences? We end up struggling, and two things might happen. First, that we may make our situations worse, or we may give up pursuing what's actually important to us in our lives. So the tug-of-war metaphor is designed to illustrate how the pattern we are engaging in might make us feel trapped, and how we could develop an insight of awareness to stop the loop. And so I want you to imagine that you are in the tug-of-war with a monster, a big, scary monster. And this monster symbolizes your unwanted internal experiences. It may be depression, anxiety, loneliness, etc., etc. And take a moment to think about what your monster might be for you. And the tug-of-war represents the judgment, the criticism, and all the guilt, all the layers that we put on top of our experiences. Imagining you are on one end and the monster is on the other. And there is a bottomless pit in between you two. The more you pull, the closer that you get to the pit with the scary monster. Imagining that you are pulling as hard as you can, and the monster is doing the same thing. What do you do then? If you pull too hard, both of you will fall into the pit. And I just want to acknowledge that pulling hard seems to be a natural response. The harder you pull, the harder the monster pulls. Now take a moment to think about something that is important to you, something that you spend time regularly. That can be your job, career, inspiration, hobby, interest, or relationship. Let's say if in order to pursue something that is important to you, you have to go to the other corner of the space while you still keep pulling. What can you possibly do? And what else can you try? What if you drop the rope? So when we drop the rope, the monster is still there, but you are no longer wrapped up in the struggle. And when we let go of our struggle, the pain may still be present. We aren't exhausting ourselves with this battle we can't win. We are now be able to move our bodies around, and we are free to look around and to engage in what's happening in our lives and start doing things that give us meanings, values, and purposes. It is important to remember that monster can be sneaky. It will feel natural to pick up the rope again when the monster shows up. And that is okay. When this happens, simply drop the rope. And our goal is not to win the game. The goal is to drop the rope. And it is important to remember that letting go is not the same as giving up. It's just choosing to engage in something different. The monster is more like the internal judgment about yourself, the extra layers on top of the problem. To conclude this metaphor, I want to share that many times that when we feel really stuck, it might be that we are too busy fighting to notice what we need to be. And perhaps if we stop and look deeply into the nature of our experiences, we may begin to understand what the experience means to us. So pain can be the signal that we need to pay attention to something. By paying attention to our painful experiences, we will begin to understand what those experiences are trying to tell us. So next, I'm going to facilitate another mindfulness exercise to explain and to implement the tug of war metaphor that we talked. And this exercise is called the acceptance for understanding. And I'd like you to reflect back on the internal experiences in the past or present. For example, it can be anxiety, loneliness, sadness, or depression. When you have the opportunity to gently approach this internal experience, try to recognize it intentionally and non-judgmentally, and begin to explore what this painful experience means to you. And again, I'm going to switch to another nature image to you while we are engaged in this mindfulness exercise. So let's get it started. And as you wish, start to adjust your position. Getting yourself a comfortable position and taking a deeper than normal breathing moment to settle in. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing yourself to relax a little as you exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Relaxing bit by bit as you breathe. Start by bringing your awareness to here in this moment. The sounds, feeling your body where it touches your seat. Maybe being aware that there is nobody on earth that fully knows how it feels to sit where you sit, with the experiences that you are having in this moment. And slowly shifting into gathering, focusing on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Noticing the different sensations in your chest and belly between the in-breath and out-breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling the air fill your lungs, slowly expanding, and feeling the air leaving as you exhale. Focusing on the breath in this moment. And allow yourself to expand your awareness to your body as a whole. Sensations that you might become aware of. Your heartbeat, your abdominal organs, the feel of your face, and briefly scanning for any signs of tension and releasing these areas. Noticing the sensation of your whole body. And continuing to notice your breathing. Now, take a moment to reflect on a painful experience in the past or present. And gently invite this experience into your awareness. Acknowledging it for the painful experience it is. And just like a curious scientist, allowing yourself to study your experience as it enters into your awareness. Imagining that unwanted experience as being present with you. Just being present in your awareness as you observe it. While holding it in your awareness, picturing it in your mind's eye, and thinking about the following questions. If you were to locate the experience within your body, where would it be? How does it feel to have this experience as a physical sensation? Would you describe it as big or small? Heavy or light? Moving or still? Smooth or rough? What color it is? Does it have sharp edges or it is more diffuse and fuzzy? What does this experience reveal about your values and say about what's important to you, about your life, about yourself? Maybe something is missing in your life. Now, taking a moment to feel gratitude for the information this painful experience gave to you. And gently allow it to reside. Letting it go from your mind's eye and being your attention back to your body, your heartbeat, the feelings of your organs or your lungs, breathing in and out, in and out. Taking another deep breath, deeper than normal, breathing in And slowly exhaling. Becoming more in touch with the present moment, the room, and the sounds around you. And slowly opening your eyes and reacquainting yourself with being here. And you might want to pause the video here and take a moment to reflect on your experience. You can jot down your reactions on page 8 in the student workbook. And when you are making your own reflections, here are some prompting thoughts that I would like to share with you. What have you learned about your internal experience? And keep in mind that your internal experiences can give you an idea of what is important to you. For example, if you are upset about an argument with your best friend, what does it say about what's important to you? You might say that this is the relationship that you value the most or value a lot. So I'm going to introduce one last metaphor before we end our conversation today. And it's a language tip that we will be able to practice in our daily lives. So it's called replacing but with and. So I'm gonna use the example to share this idea. So for example, instead of saying, I want to do well in school, but I have anxiety, so I can't, I might catch myself using but and say instead, I can feel anxiety and I can still go to class and enjoy my conversation with friends. It's a simple change in language. And it can also increase flexibility in our thinking. So if you are willing to try, give it a try and notice if it feels different to you. To recap today's session, we learned about insight, or what those experiences might say is important to us. We use different meditation exercise and conceptual metaphors and hope that you get a chance to practice at home. In the next and the last session, we will be sharing the concept of openness, which aims to make a change in our life and create a fulfilling life. We hope that you enjoyed the video session today and look forward to seeing you next time.